everybody. Welcome to this afternoon session. My name is Manish Chowdhary. I'm the founder and CEO of GoECart. We are a technology vendor. We basically provide multi-channel retail solutions to retailers that allow them to run their e-commerce website as well as their back-end order and inventory management. So I regularly speak with merchants on how they're running their free shipping programs and what's working, what's not. So the goal today is to share some of those best practices and share with you what are some of the ways we can offset this huge trend of free shipping, and share with you some stats. So once again, we are an e-commerce vendor, so we get to speak. We spend a little bit more time on the customer-facing side, on the sales and marketing, on the website. So you'll see my presentation a little bit more tilted towards abandonment, conversion, ways to combat so-called free shipping. Nobody needs to know in this room how the online retail sales are doing, but I think it's just good to be reminded at the speed at which online sales are growing, and you're expecting about 10% compounded annual growth year over year from now until 2016, and this data is coming from Forrester. But there's some things that have changed. Obviously, the growth in the US is slowing down because we're pretty much reaching a saturation point. 167 million people shopped online in 2011, and we're expecting that number to go up by 56, by a couple of percentage points in 2016, and that's based on the increase in population. So if you're trying to do the math, that's the reflection and why those numbers. And the average online spending is already pretty high. It's upwards of $1,000 in 2011, and going to pretty much grow about another 50% by 2016. But there are some things that have changed, and obviously these are again things that you may already know, and just to be good to be reminded, smartphone and mobile is going to be a big reason. And why that's relevant is because it's much easier for customers to do comparison shopping and look for deals, which ties in well with free shipping. So 50% of the phones now are smartphones. Tablet ownership is very high. It's growing very rapidly, and social is playing a huge role. And people and the customers are interacting with brands on social and other places. So it's relevant in the context that it's easy for people to compare and receive offers. So now going back to our topic, I will get to free shipping, but before we get to free shipping, there's a concept of shopping cart abandonment, because as you've probably heard throughout this summit, if you don't offer free shipping, people will tend to abandon your website and move on elsewhere. So let's just look into what are these people, who are these shopping cart abandoners. And contrary to your guess or perception, a shopping cart abandoner is actually somebody who's been shopping longer than somebody who has not been shopping online. So if you're thinking that it's the inexperience of online shopping is what causes abandonment, that's actually not true. And secondly, the people that abandon the shopping cart actually spend more money than the people that do not abandon. And the word abandon is a very big term. There's no, you have different definitions. And it's also false to assume that abandonment is a bad thing. It depends on your product category. So for example, if you were shopping for a new car, it's almost impossible to assume that you're going to go to a BMW website and pretty much fill out your order form. So that abandonment, that depends on the average sales cycle of your and how many repeat visits you need in order to make up your decision. So whenever you're computing shopping cart abandonment, you must take those factors into consideration, and you cannot just have a binary metric that it's somebody came on a website and left without making a purchase. That's an abandonment. Now let's look at the male to females. It turns out that Females tend to save products for later in the shopping cart. They tend to abandon the shopping carts more than the males. The males tend to do more comparison shopping, whereas females tend to really save the item, come back, and complete their purchase at a later time. And also, they are a lot more sensitive to shipping and handling. And this data is coming, I believe, from ComScore. So this research was done. And so now let's look at why are these people abandoning. Once again, all this ties back to free shipping, because if you don't give them free shipping, people will abandon. So we got to go to the root cause and then come back to our free shipping problem. So 88% of the customers have abandoned the shopping cart in the US. That's kind of at the macro level. And 47% of the people will simply not buy online unless they are given a promotion of some sort or the other. So it's not just about free shipping. And free shipping, to drill down, 36% of the customers absolutely want free shipping. If they don't get free shipping, they're just going to move on. So you got to divide this abandonment into two categories. One is price, the other is timing. Because some people are sensitive to price, and some people, it may not have been the right time that they wanted to complete the purchase. So again, when you're measuring shopping cart abandonment, you have to take both those factors into consideration. 44% of the users, as you'll see on the following slide, reasons for shopping cart abandonment. 44% of the users cite high shipping cost as one of the top reasons for shopping cart abandonment. And then I've circled the ones that apply to shipping, and then 22% simply did not fail to mention outright what the shipping and handling charges were going to be, and then 6% slow shipping. I think merchants have really improved their same day or next day shipping, not the delivery, which is getting products out of the door faster. So that's become less of a concern. The one in the middle, 22%, that's a rectifiable problem. That's simply working on the technology to improve the user experience by simply putting it out in the open early on, right in the shopping cart, before the customers have to register to figure out what their total shipping and handling charges are going to be. And then 44% of the people simply do not like the shipping cost that you charge. So, and one other interesting fact is a lot of people will tend to offer free shipping, but they'll tack on a handling fee. So when you go to the shopping cart, you will see free shipping, and then you go to the final order review page, all of a sudden there's a surprise. And those surprises actually do not bode well for merchants, and they actually lead to a higher abandonment than if you had put that entire shipping and handling up front. So by trying to hide handling charges and disclosing them later is actually worse than putting them out up front. So let's look at a few other things. Once again, we want to come back to the root cause, and then we'll go back to free shipping. Delivery time and abandonment rate. How many people abandon? 1 in 4 shoppers simply will not buy if the delivery date is not available. And that's really professed by the likes of Amazon, because when you go on Amazon's site and you immediately know when will the product arrive, if you could simply make that information more readily available to the customer, I think you can certainly improve your abandonment rates. Secondly, how many carts are abandoned based on the estimated so 8 days or more. I think we've talked about customers have done a really good job of improving the delivery time, the shipping times, which is expediting the shipments to the customers. Now let's look at, in terms of shipping, what options do customers want to see at checkout? An overwhelming majority, 73% of the customers want free shipping. And that's much higher than any kind of promotion. In fact, if you were to offer somebody $10 or 10% off and offer a lower value in terms of free shipping, it has been proven that free shipping promotion outweighs and improves your conversion much higher than other forms of promotion. Second thing that customers want to see is a guaranteed delivery date or mention of that right up front. It eliminates the doubt in their minds, when will their products arrive. And then as you go further down, expedited shipping is much further down the request list for customers. So let's look at free shipping stats now. We've covered a lot of that, 43, 44%. Again, depending on the study, you'll see different numbers floating around, but 44% of the people abandon the shopping cart because of high shipping charges. 60% say that free shipping was a very important factor. 75% will only shop at merchants that offer free shipping. 90% people say that they will spend more if free shipping were offered, and 72% of those people will actually be willing to leave you and go to a different merchant if you were not offering free shipping. So it's a really pretty strong statistics in favor of free shipping. So it's a big challenge that merchants have to deal with. So the number of free shipping, once again, but we'll cover a few of them just to get a wide flavor. Total free shipping. This is typically no conditions, no obligations, free shipping all the time. Sites like Newegg does that, LL Bean. I don't know if this changed in recent times, but basically there is no minimum. You just go, even single article, free shipping, no conditions. Then free shipping with a threshold, which is not there, which is Amazon, $25 minimum, and you get the order for free. The more recent and more popular free shipping with membership, I'm sure some of you are familiar with things like Amazon Prime, where there is no minimum. However, you get free 2-day shipping if you enroll for a membership like Amazon Prime, which will cost you $79 up front. And there are other competing products out there like ShopRunner, which is more a consortium of merchants, so you're not restricted to shopping on a specific site. Like you could go to GNC, and then you could go to Cabela's. As long as they're part of the ShopRunner network and you've paid your fees one time, you can qualify for free shipping, 2-day free shipping on the network that they operate. And it's becoming really popular, and that's one of the biggest growth engines for Amazon right now. They have, I believe, closer to 20 million members already enrolled. And the key there is two. One, you have a sunk cost because you've paid $79 up front. And so consumers in their head, they feel that they need to recoup that. And in order to recoup, they want to go and shop more. And Amazon data that they have released is those customers that are on Prime are shopping about 150% more in total order value compared to the non-Prime members. And Amazon is driving that really aggressively. If you go on their website and add an item all throughout the checkout process, they're trying to get you to sign up. So that, and ShopRunner is catching up. And likewise, merchants are putting up their own programs. I think Williams-Sonoma has their own program where you free shipping, second-day free shipping. So a lot of merchants are experimenting with their own. That's the minimum order shipping. That's the Amazon select item shipping. If you're carrying a variety of goods, from jewelry to furniture, or it's really hard to give free shipping on large bulky items. So you may, in those cases, if you're a mass merchant, merchants would designate few categories or subset of the products and offer free shipping on only those, and then you'll pay shipping for the rest. Site to store, that's become quite popular. Walmart and other retailers, multi-channel, the ones that have a big retail footprint, will get your products to your store and you can pick it up for free. So that's an alternate way of dealing with free shipping. Free return shipping. This is more something like the Zappos of the world that not only want to give you free shipping on the way in, but they also want to entice you through free shipping on the way back, and 365 days, which is very, very generous. But they figure that they have a long lifetime value of those customers. They do a lot of repeat business, so they're able to absorb that. If you can do free shipping, a lot of customers, merchants are relying on flat rate. whether it's $4.99 or $9.99 per order. It's a way of offsetting, and to your point, creates a sense of fairness. It's low enough that customers will not view that as it's subsidized shipping. They view it, and they're willing to accept that. And free shipping by delivery location. This is if you're writing a campaign where you can only ship within a certain region. You can use some geo-targeting and provide offers in a local area where certain X miles of radius where you can actually get the products out through ground or other services and subsidize the shipping for a specific area. Pros and cons, again, free shipping, as we saw, if 73% of the people, 36% will not shop unless you give them free shipping. Certainly can lead to increase in sale, increase in traffic. The way traffic is, if you type in search engine free shipping and an item, and if you're optimizing for that keyword, that certainly will lead to a boost in traffic to your website. And to the other point, if somebody else is researching, even though they don't intend to buy, you might benefit from extra traffic. You're able to move more stuff. More stuff means more pricing power. More pricing power allows you to drive your costs down. The more volume you sell, more ratings, more reviews. So it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. So more traffic, more sales, meaning more customers, more people leaving reviews and ratings, which means you get ranked higher on the search engines, plus greater confidence amongst the buyers, and fewer abandoned carts, and then also more referrals because you have a larger customer base that is more satisfied. Cons, there is no free shipping in the real world. Somebody's paying for it. So product prices, you're probably absorbing that into your margins, or you're raising your product prices. Your margins go down. Decrease in traffic because fewer people are sticking around longer. And when you say decrease in traffic, it doesn't mean a number of visitors altogether. It could be number of page views, because the minute they find out it's high shipping costs, they abandon, which means less browsing opportunity. Advertising time and cost is just having free shipping is not good enough. You've got to get those emails out to the customers, so you do have to invest in some marketing. And once you start offering free shipping, just think about it. If Amazon tomorrow said no free shipping, what havoc would that cause, and how would that change the customer perception? And it discourages in-store impulse buy. So if you had retail stores and you also offer free shipping on the website, there's less incentive for customers to go into the store and make that purchase, because you know you're going to get it free anyways, and you get to do comparison shopping. So it does take away some of that sales that you might get through impulse buying. And many times shoppers may not even enter the checkout stage to see what the shipping and final cost would be, because they know that they're not getting. How do you combat free shipping? Obviously, you can include that in price of your product. You can set threshold like $25 minimum, $50 minimum. That's something that you'll need to test as what's the magic number where you get the sales lift without hampering your conversion. And that's really our margins dramatically. There is no one-size-fits-all with that. You can certainly join a membership organization like ShopRunner, which is more open to than creating your own, which gives you the benefit of being on the network. You can ship few of the items for free, flat rate shipping. So if you can't ship everything for free, you can offer flat rate that's considered fair. Other options is including potential carriers that hybrid shipping, things that are popular, FedEx, SmartPost, UPS Mail Innovation, as a partnership between the private carriers and USPS to get the last mile. So you still get the benefit of lower cost and the convenience of a private carrier. Ad-supported shipping is a company that will print ads and put them on your package and subsidize shipping costs for in return, which is a company like AdShip. Vendor discounted, if you can get your vendors to subsidize your shipping to push their items for you compared to a different brand, that's another innovative way to try that. Pick up from store, so bring the item. If the item is available in store, let them pick it up. Drop ship is another way. You may still have to charge the customer, or your dropship charge is not free, but you can get it closer to the customer so you can reduce your shipping cost. Or you can charge the shipping fee but allow for an upgrade. Generally, merchants are able to negotiate much better rates on higher value services like next day or second day. So the delta between the two might create a greater perception in the minds of the customer, and they might, it's a way of offsetting, so you can still charge for ground, and some customers will indeed convert to next day or second day, whereas your cost would be minimal. And then auditing the carrier bills, a lot of mistakes. There's a way to recoup some of that cost. Typically, merchants can recover up to 5% for service failures or any billing errors. And eliminating double shipping, so bringing items from multiple places, packing it together, or if you're shipping large quantities and you're a wholesaler, having it shipped to your warehouse and then finally getting it out to the customer, if there's a way to get them directly to the customer, and eliminating some of the double shipping. If you noticed in one of the slides that I had, the customers are willing to take a longer duration in lieu of free shipping. So if you gave them the option, that certainly solves the problem in terms of getting them free shipping, lower cost, and if they wish to upgrade, you can certainly charge for it. So there's a lot of our clients are indeed doing that. So you can use a slower option like a Smart Post or Mail Innovation, and then let the customer upgrade to a higher service. If it's a closer zone shipment and you can ship it by ground and still meet your service levels and service guarantees, you can certainly optimize on that. There's no point shipping something by second-day air if it can get there by ground. Monitoring dimensional weights and package sizes and avoiding overages. I think there are some companies here that are right-sizing the package. I think that's an important area because you can get nicked on a lot of dimensional weight and surcharges that you can avoid. Reward cards, something, American Express, if you can get 5% off on your FedEx bill by using American Express and you can pay them that way, it's certainly a way of getting some rebates back by processing stuff electronically, reducing errors. That's another way. If you're doing freight, getting a broker involved, like perhaps a website like a Freight Quote or Freight Broker to get bids as opposed to just carrying on. Group discounts, this is if you're a member of a organization like, say, American Booksellers Association, they are able to negotiate much better rates if you don't have the volume, so you can piggyback on their discounts and take advantage of those special negotiated rates. And then also requesting discounts on supplies, because supplies are expensive, so you can either buy them in bulk or try to negotiate some pricing on supplies. And then we talked about billing errors and auditing your carrier bills. And then one other option, if you can't efficiently ship out of your own warehouse, considering outsourcing, because somebody else does that for their living. They are the experts, they are the professionals, like 3PL. That may be another way to consider. And last slide, which is really, I know we've ridden the wave of free shipping for a very long time, and it's simply, I know it's a bit dark, and what it really shows is the rising package costs, and they're rising at a much faster rate than inflation. So the question really becomes is how long can merchants continue to absorb this? Because if it continues in the same trend, it's a mathematical impossibility for merchants to continue absorbing free shipping. So we just have to wait and see how this will evolve, and at what point will this trend begin to challenge the math that the merchants for merchants to remain profitable.